I'll tell you all, I have been praying, and my mentor has been praying for quite a long time now for revival. We've been praying for revival here on my school's campus, and I know we've been praying for revival within the city in which we stay. I've been praying for revival back at home, and I'm telling you, praying is key. Praying is essential. It is essential that we are praying for the revival and the salvation of souls, but we must also be moving on our prayers. It is good to get on your knees day and night praying to God about the salvation of others. In fact, we are encouraged and called to do so, but we are also called to stand up and get on our feet and go out and look to make disciples. The Great Commission was not only that we should be sitting in prayer, but no, when Christ died and when Christ left, and the last message he ever gave to the disciples about the Great Commission, he called them to go out to all nations and to spread the gospel. And so we are not just called to pray that someone goes to all nations and spread the gospel. We're not called just to pray that somehow, some way they receive a message, but we are called to deliver it as well. See, the thing is, God has envelopes ready to send them out to the world, but he has no postal service which is ready or which is open and is operating in order to get them out. In the area which you are staying in, there are people who God has written letters to, people who God has intentions and desires for, but because there is no operating postal service in that area for Christ, those people will never receive the word that God has for them. Those people will never receive the blessings that God has for them, because we are being quiet with the message that God has given us to give to the world. See, we are all called to be postal services for Christ. And if you are under the sound of my voice today, I say to you, do not just sit in prayer. Do not just sit in silence, waiting on the side, looking at the world saying, man, will they ever leave their sin? When you are standing quiet, when you are sitting there with you have the word in you. You have the truth within you to share with the world. Do not take that for granted. Instead, take that and share that with the world, because you are a postal service for Christ. Do not look around and say, man, that person is being mightily used by God. Look at how God is using them. It's a beautiful thing, and I love to see my brothers in Christ doing a great work. But don't believe that can't be you. Don't believe because you have a stutter that can't be you. Look at Moses. Man, it does not matter the limitations you have. God takes the unqualified and makes them qualified. And the things that you can't do, God will make sure that you have what you need to make do. Because understand, it's not about your insufficiency. It's about Christ and his sufficiency. And he attributes all his righteousness and perfection to you. So again, it never was about you being so great. It never has been and never will be. It's all about the goodness and mercy and glory of God. And because he is so great, let us be outspoken and share his word and share his love, that the world may know him. It is a time of revival, and it is time for revival. I know that it is, and I truly believe it, but I understand that while I am praying on this, and while we should devote ourselves, and we need to be devoted to praying on this, we also need to be devoted to walking on this, to doing what we are called to do here and wherever we are, to hand out these newsletters, these love letters of Christ, that people may come to the knowledge of Jesus Christ and believe in the mercy of God and the grace that was shown on the cross, that lives may be saved and souls may be turned from evilness and wickedness and turned to the love and the glory and the grace of God.